Beware the sword of Damocles. Good intentions are not sufficient when using a Christian symbol as an ornament. We must be wise as a snake and pure as a dove. Matthew 10:16. Or else we place ourselves under the proverbial Damocles sword. You are listening to the Christian podcast Manna, in Hebrew, what is it? Let us look at this further. Welcome. Sincere believers can be vulnerable to two forms of subtle errors. They are, number one, using an item that is once spiritual and miraculous as a symbol for or an item of blessing, grace, ornamentation, or worship. Examples from Israel's history is the bronze serpent. An example from the New Testament times is a popular use of the cross. Another error is using an item that is lawful, spiritual, and God-ordained in an unlawful manner. This is the error of venerating a spiritual paraphernalia not lawfully. An example of this is Gideon's ephod. Venerated spiritual paraphernalia always have become the sword of Damocles hanging over unsuspecting adherents. It is only a matter of time before an item of decoration becomes an item of veneration. Therefore, any physical object is not only just useless, but utterly dangerous for worship, veneration, as charms, talisman, or as decorations. The Bible gives us two examples from Israel's history. Number one, the bronze serpent was an item made by Moses at the command of God. This bronze serpent brought great healing to Israel in the wilderness. Numbers chapter 21. But later in the history of Israel, the same bronze serpent was worshipped as Nehushtan, 2 Kings 18:4. People burned incense to it and sinned against God. What helped in the past later was venerated and then became an object of worship. Beware of these things. Another example is that of Gideon. He just wanted to make an ephod. An ephod was a peculiar item worn only by the high priest. An ephod, when worn by the right person, gives him true spiritual prophetic abilities from the Holy Spirit. The Bible doesn't say why Gideon wanted this. He was neither a Levite nor from the house of Aaron. Nevertheless, the spiritual darkness of his times lured him to make one. He collected gold from the people and made an ephod and installed it as a holy object in his city. Judges 8:26-27. The Holy Spirit accounts that the people played harlot with it. Gideon's ephod had some magical power inspired by the devil. This is why the Holy Spirit accounts the action of the people as harlotry, a word reserved for idolatry. And this ephod, a spiritual vestment which used by the right person at the right time in God-prescribed way, could bring great spiritual blessing to the people, instead brought a snare and a danger for the house of Gideon. Moreover, the people worshipped it. Gideon's ephod became his Damocles sword. If you don't worship God in the way prescribed and only in the way prescribed, Satan will use it to deceive you by means of satanic power and make you think it is God. Beware. If an ephod, which was a legal paraphernalia according to the law of Moses and spoken of by the mouth of God, did this treachery to Gideon and Israel, just imagine the havoc a cross that is nowhere to be seen in the scriptures as a legal paraphernalia for worship may be doing in many homes and necks. Beware the Damocles sword. You have been listening to the Christian podcast Manna, in Hebrew, what is it? You can find us on Google Play and iTunes by searching Manna, what is it, under podcast. Till next, God bless, be prepared for His coming, and bye-bye.